Okay, so I have two thoughts on that. The first is that it's always going to be difficult being conservatives, in that we're the guys who show up and say, you know, society is not perfectible, human beings are flawed, whether you believe this religiously or not, we are all suffering under original sin, and the best way of dealing with that is to put hard limits on the state and to allow people to compete with one another, whether that's in a market or whether that's in a system of separated powers. We're never going to be popular or cool when we're making that case because it is anti-utopian and it's harsh. It's not fluffy or exciting, and it can sound censorious. There's a reason that a lot of us get to 65 and start wearing bow ties and cursing the world, because the world often needs cursing. The minute that a younger person comes along and says, well, you know, I have a plan which will save you all. We've seen it in the light of this abomination in Oregon. It is presumed by the president that if we pass the right number of laws, we will stop massacres. It's presumed that we all secretly know this, but of course we don't. We disagree fundamentally on whether that's possible. And so the conservative side is never ever going to be cool in that regard. But I will say this, I do think that we have an increasing opportunity to cast ourselves quite reasonably as the rebels and the other side as the man. I mean, in 1960, the so-called liberals, and I don't use that word because I see myself as a liberal, an old classical liberal, but the so-called liberals were countercultural. They were genuinely fighting against the man. They had better music, they made better movies, they were in many cases more interesting, and now they're not. Barack Obama is the man. I mean, Barack Obama is the state. Look at what we hear day in, day out, not just from the media, but from Hollywood as well. Don't smoke because it's bad for you. Don't drink because it's bad for you. And by the way, you're externalizing all of the costs onto other people. Hey, young people, you need to take out health insurance that you don't need because we've decided it. Don't cycle, don't take a motorcycle, that's dangerous. Don't own a gun, you might shoot yourself. Oh, don't listen to music because it might have misogynistic lyrics. You know, over and over again, these people are the dull, censorious Puritans that they think that they hate. You see it on college campuses. When was the last time you saw a conservative on a college campus trying to shut someone down because his words might make them feel unsafe? Right? This is open hostility to free inquiry that we're seeing. This is open hostility really to fun. I think Mencken defined Puritanism as the haunting fear that someone somewhere might be happy. So in that regard, especially with younger people, I think there is an opportunity, and in policy terms, although this is not a perfect analog, in policy terms, you do see how various interest groups are now lining up. It's not conservatives who are looking at Uber and saying, oh, that sounds a bit dangerous. That sounds like it might disrupt the status quo. It's Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton wants to use state power to disrupt innovation. She wants to side with the unions, and on the most frivolous of pretexts. Likewise, when it comes to craft beer in places like New York, it's the Republicans that are on the side of the small breweries, and it's the Democrats who want to keep in the old New Deal and Prohibition era laws in order to protect the big manufacturers that fund their campaigns. So it's always going to be tough because of the way we come at the world, but I think there is an opportunity there.